What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy GMG. We're back with another video, and for a long time after E3, I've always had my my back and forth with Horizon Zero Dawn simply because of its story. And I know a lot of people such as myself thought it would be more story driven, which I believe it is, but I was really heavily bothered by the animations by which each character would associate with each other in the story. And I think a lot of people had spoken back saying they feel the same way, but this is not to say whether or not the game will be good or bad. That's why my title states Horizon Zero Dawn can be a great game or Horizon Zero Dawn can be a horrible game. But I'm gonna break down a lot of notes that I've taken from articles and different videos, but specifically in this video, shout out to MK Ice and Fire, I just wanted to show you guys how the animations look in the story versus what we probably assumed or what we thought was going to be in the game, because a lot of people believe that this isn't a story driven game. I myself believe it's half and half. I do think it has somewhat of a strong story, but the animations and stuff like that won't allow you to be attached to the character as much.
Pick up her trail there. She went after the killers who attacked the Proving, who killed those we love, who tried to kill you.
And with that, I just want people to know that it's only, when you encounter a tribe or a group or a specific person when you completed a mission that you do get these animations where it look careless, it doesn't look like there's a lot of emotion. But I don't want you guys to worry about that, because that isn't the story. That's basically just some of the quest that's going on, and I believe that this game will still be big on the story as well as the gameplay. So I want to break down some of the stuff that's in this game, and just so that you guys can understand what type of game this is, because this is one of the first biggest projects that Guerrilla Games is taking on, because they did make the Killzone franchise, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it wasn't big. The story wasn't always that good to me. The gameplay was fun in my opinion, but this game is heavily on the story at hand with the gameplay together. So I'm gonna go first and just say that there's a lot of different features in this game to allow you to have fun. So the first thing you're gonna encounter in this open world is tall necks, and basically they're creatures that are around this world, and in order to unlock parts of the map, you need to actually wipe out a wave of creatures that are in the area, and as you do that, you will see this creature roaming around safely around. You would have to climb to the very top and I guess eject the cell or whatever it is on the top, which allows more of the map to be visible, which I think is dope. You also have an economy system in the game, which is very big in my opinion, because from E3 up until now, they've still been talking a lot about it. You're allowed to craft and you're allowed to gather resources, but the most important thing is you don't only have to gather resources to craft, but you can also gather to go ahead and sell to other tribes and then buy items and trade items from other tribes, so that you can also craft and repair rare weapons or also give back to another group. So it's heavily on this economy. So the big problem is that we're in this world, right? And the reason why it's taking place in this futuristic, but it also has this old school vibe, is because you're in this world where humanity has fallen, and now groups of people have organized tribes and went back to the old days where they separated everyone by tribes and groups. So now it's your job to go around as Aloy, the main character, ascending different creatures and going ahead completing tasks for other groups, but also taking out enemies. Now back to the economy part of this game and gathering resources and items. You don't have to kill creatures to gather resources and items. You can actually hit their weak point on whichever part of their body, and it'll drop the cell in which you use to craft and build different items or even trade. There's no saying whether or not this is going to be something difficult depending on the creature that you encounter, but it is fun to see that economy is very huge, so you don't always have to encounter the same creatures, because there's hundreds of different creatures and they all drop different unique items anyway. Now there's no doubt with the world like Horizon, we actually have a skill tree, so it's divided by 3 parts. You have Prowler, which allows the player to enhance their stealth abilities for those who enjoy more stealth like combat. You also have the Brave, which allows you to be out in the art of war and combat, and allows you to upgrade the system where you could just be out in the wild even though you're going to be seen by other enemies. And then you also have the Resource Forager, which allows you to gather more items and resources and enhances your ability to gather these resources. Now unfortunately the map isn't as big as The Witcher. It's very similar but not as big. They added tons of activities and tribes to encounter, as well as different hunting areas. And once again, since they place you in this world of corruption, they have went back to organize themselves into different tribes and groups. You playing as Aloy, I think you're in a group called Brave, where your focus is on the machines. You also have other groups such as Nora, which they specialize in ancient technology and has women as their leaders. And then you also have to go up against different groups which you can actually contribute by completing tasks and moving you up in the ranks. Not only are we going to encounter creatures and we can kill and destroy these machines, but we're also going to have to kill humans. Now there's no saying why they weren't that specific. I'm assuming it has to do with power because of what's going on in this world and what you have and what they don't have. So I'm assuming you're going to encounter people trying to steal from you and trying to try to obtain your resources. So it's going to be dope having to kill different groups. And also with that, they're going to have corrupted machines, so you're going to have to be careful as well. One thing I believe is going to be huge in this game is allowing the player to hack any mechanical being. And the reason why is because you see these huge mechs, you see these huge creatures in the world, and you just question whether or not I can ride on top of that and take out a group of other people. And now that you can, it's going to be so dope to equip yourself with some lethal and effective weapons as you do that. And you can go up against other mechs too, so I think that's pretty dope. One thing I do like that they did was attention to detail, which they added over, I think, 100 or 200 unique sounds to each mech in this game, so that you know their emotion and what's going on with them and their lifestyle in the wildlife of the Horizon world. And adding on with that, some different content, some variety as far as cosmetic goes with weapon cosmetics, also crafting a lot of different weapons, swords, bows and all that good shit. And with completing difficult missions, part of the story, you will also be given, you know, specific gear that can represent the warrior that you are. So I actually have one question. Is this a game you guys feel you can enjoy? Cause this shit sounds like it's right up my alley and I can't fucking wait. I think legit, well, it comes out this month, right? Oh shit, day one. You guys let me know what you guys think with all these features and the content that's going to be in this game. And it is said that everything they've announced will be in the game day one. They actually have not spoken about anything season pass related and other content that will not be in the game. So I'm actually happy about that as well. So drop your comments, subscribe if you're new, and it's your boy, and I will be live streaming. 2 videos drop before that. Facts. And I'm out. Peace.
Tell me what you wanna do, cause we can do whatever. I ain't really trying to go out. We can just kick it at the crib, stay in, get lit on the couch. I've been there and done it, some fun shit and dumb shit.